This is a video of me basically reading Wikipedia. People have accused me of that being an insult, owning the libs, by reading a source that you can actually check on and see if they're wrong. Wikipedia isn't perfect. Don't read the article, read the sources they list most of the time. But this one is pretty reliable. I've already done a video on this, but this is a remake almost. Blood type proteins on the surface of red blood cells. If you have 50 of them, defined antigens, you have up to 1 trillion possible combinations or more. It's actually more. The most prominent antigens, which are the ones that are considered most important, are listed as C, E, and D. And there's a C and C minor, E and E minor, and a D, but no D minor. So it's either there or it isn't. And I'm very badly explaining this, so someone will then correct me in the comment section, and you should pin that comment. This is called an RH factor. It doesn't have a D RH protein. They have biochemical functions concerning CO2 transport, but the main thing about them is that they can cause blood transfusion incompatibility. That's the main thing we care about them for. That's it. The term RH was Rhesus factor, R-H-E-S-U-S, Rhesus. It was discovered in 1939 by Karl, Landsteiner, and Alexander S. I'm going to say Wiener. At the time, they believed it was similar to an antigen found in Rhesus macaque red blood cells. That's the name it got. It is considered a misnomer. Yeah, but that's what they want you to think. Yes, and be sure to yell all sorts of other conspiratorial things in the comment section because you're defending, you're gatekeeping something. Rhesus group, like other terms that were already widespread, notwithstanding its misnomer, it survives. Rhesus blood group system, as it's called, and obsolete terms like Rhesus factor, Rhesus positive, Rhesus negative, all of which actually refer specifically only to the D factor. I'm not making that joke, you did. And are thus misleading when unmodified. You have to specify that it's again, this is a protein for CO2 transport. It's not that big of a deal. But because it can cause reactions in a recipient, you can hurt somebody for this positive and negative factor. Contemporary practice is to use RH as a term of art instead of Rhesus. RH group, RH factors, RHD, etc. Or what it would be is your A, B, or O, D, or no D. You didn't get the D. By the way, the arbitrary nature of using random characters in whatever language you're using to designate something. Problem X. But anyway, out of the 1 trillion, not billions, trillions, 1.125899999 trillion possible combinations, 2 to the 50th power, binary mode here. We get a huge number of complications here, but these have to do with all sorts of stuff. But A, B, and O are what we worry about most, and then ideally you want to get something that doesn't have a problem being donated to everybody. So what are the percentages of this, or rarity of it? Now I want to point out someone taking the L and refusing to take it and make it something important. Some people have a 1 in 6 million chance of having a null characteristic where they literally lack the antigens, no RH or AG of any kind. They're missing a bunch of them, and they're supposed to call, they list golden blood in, yeah, okay. Oh, and by the way, there's a bunch of medical problems that come along with it, so hey, golden blood, so let's talk about this. RH positivity. 99% of the population in China, Indonesia, Japan, and Korea. Basically Asian blood. But we're not being racist. Or elitists. Who else has negative blood? Is it uncommon? Is it really rare? High Atlas Moroccans. I have personal experience with this issue. 29% of them. Basques. Anywhere from 21 to 36% depending on which study. Ethiopians, 19.4%. Britain, they just say Britain, 17%. Europeans in general, 16%. USA, 15%. Albanian, 10%. Moroccan, generically, not Atlas Mountains, 9.5%. Saudi, 8.8. African Americans, 7%, Nigerians, 6%, and people from India, just about 6%. So being Rh negative is rare and special, and also might make it easier on you or worse on you depending on the medical situation. Look up what causes these medical problems or not. Yeah, but I know, and some of you aren't going to read any link below. I'm just going to leave the link literally to the Wikipedia article. Yeah, but you're just playing on Wikipedia. Cool. So what has this got to do with elitism, racism, and more importantly, every other ism besides saying they're aliens? I did a video about this a long time ago. It's a completely inconsequential thing. I was just tired of hearing about it because I was trying to figure out, what are you guys communicating? One of the big clues is someone doesn't explain the literal basis of what the fuck they're saying. Look in the description, you ass hat. The next, I'm talking to the assets, not the normals. Refusing to provide an explanation of what you're talking about so you can drag out a video to get more views. And the other thing is making an assumption that sounds desperately like you're trying to say you're not a racist. I'm not racist, but Rh positivity is common in Asian populations and is a large portion of people don't have this factor if they're basically Moroccan, Basque, Ethiopian, Briton. The junction between Northern Africa and Europe. And it just spreads out. And Asia. Excuse me, Saudi Arabia. So, someone said, you have monkey blood. You sounds like you're jealous because you don't have the positive or negative characteristic here. Having AB negative blood, hypothetically, if I had it, would mean that when I go to the hospital, they have to blood type me or have it tattooed on me. A lot of people have it tattooed on them because it's an issue. Because if you get blood with the positive factor in it, you can get really fucked up by it. Presuming they're giving you blood because you're dying. But yeah, because it's rare, meaning it makes your lifespan demonstratively shorter if you ever get into a medical situation. And also interferes with you being able to have kids because the majority of people aren't Rh negative. Unless you're in certain areas where it's a massive majority of them. Being Rh positive is objectively better tactically, better for survival, better for, moving forward, just because of the sheer numbers in many, many countries. And that's it. The highest population is like almost 30%, 36%, and that's Basques. But would it be better if we didn't have this? Yeah. Not having the Rh factor means that if you didn't have it and everybody didn't have it, then it wouldn't be an issue. This is about a medical safety issue. That's it. Mostly for children who need to get a full transfusion of blood to replace, to make sure that they don't get sick on being born. There used to be a guy called the Golden Arm guy, and he happened to have one of the rare blood types. There are a lot of people on Earth that, it's rare, but you can get people for that, and they can supply blood. But in some areas, it's just not very common. And you have children who are born with this, and it almost is a birth defect. So why did I do a video about it? People were equating this with being aliens, or you don't have the animal gene. No, it's a protein that carries carbon dioxide, among other things. It's a mutation. All of us have them. If there are 50 different individual things that you can fixate on, and you only fixate on one of them for your bullshit story, you ignore the other 49 possible combinations, so it's like 500 billion possible combinations that you want to pay attention to by just having this one thing, the thing you fixate on. That's weird. And yeah, you have A, B, and O, so there's 8 possible combinations of mixing that can happen. I made a video explaining that, no, here's how bad it could go. Here's a disaster for it. But someone said, it sounds like you're jealous of something. I'd be jealous of you, again, assuming I have one or the other, of wanting to have a medical condition that could kill me if someone had to guess what my blood type is in an emergency. I'm jealous for this. A good portion of my existence on this planet has been spent dealing with the fact that I have medical problems that can kill me. Apparently you don't. Must be nice. Well, it's because of monkeys, and I don't even know where to go with that. I'm not even going to do it. But next, if you're going to post a comment, not that person, it was another person who did the monkey comment. If you're going to do something that is, at that point, fucking crazy levels of nasty, and deserves derision and nasty responses back, you're asking for it. You're trying to be picked on the internet. Go cry bully someplace else. So anyway, what is this about? I learned today more about the subject because I simply looked it up on Wikipedia. The last time I looked it up, it didn't have as much data. So I have probably corrected some things. I probably made more mistakes. Feel free to critique me based on facts. Not on what you want an outcome to be, but what it inevitably forces you to accept. Humans are diverse. We have hundreds of individual characteristics causing trillions of combination. And there's only 8 billion of us on the planet. We have no idea how much of a freak any of us could be. And if you went in and got biological real testing to find out what kind of freak you are, you would probably refuse to have it published or sue somebody. There's a lot of videos of people finding out, oh yeah, you're 1/4 black and it happens to be a neo-Nazi, trying to deal with the fact that, no, you aren't pure blood in any way. Don't even get me started on Asians finding out they're not pure blood. This is actually a thing in the Asian population sometimes, where they're extremist about literally their blood being pure and finding out, no, they're not, and finding out genetically they're not whatever they thought they were. And that it crushes them, and they get angry, sometimes suicidal. Yes, I said the word. We're past the 10-minute mark. Maybe YouTube will shut up for a minute and let someone use language, like the English language in this case. No, it's not a monkey characteristic. No, you're not a throwback, blah, 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 for being part of the overwhelming majority of the people on the planet. And you're not special for being in an overwhelming minority of the planet. It just means you're just a human, and we're all kind of in these weird little boats that we're sinking in. But we're all sinking. And yeah, I'd rather not have negative typed blood because it reduces it increases my likelihood of dying due to an accident at the hospital that happens occasionally. If I come in medically critical condition, and this is what pushes me over the edge, that would be sad. It'd be even sadder if I was born genetically with these issues and had to get a transfusion as a baby. And it had permanent effects that I still feel today. But, that's just a theory. A game theory. And I don't know if I said anything in the video to indicate any of this. Well, it sounds like you're jealous of something, for all you know, that I have going on and don't want. I don't want to be the rare individual showing up at a hospital that needs special treatment. I want to be the generic normal guy who doesn't need shit done other than, patch the hole and put the pieces back where they came from. I don't want to have to worry about getting literally the wrong blood transfusion and dying. Maybe I don't. I'm not sharing any information anymore. People make presumptions based on what they project, and they tell everything about themselves. I try not to be that kind of guy. So yeah, positive, negative factor. The majority of people are positive, or are they negative? Positive. Is being part of the minority in the population to get a drug transfusion make you special? Not in a good way. And the majority of the ones that we were talking about, the highest numbers, are Basques and Moroccans and people from Africa and swarthy nations or whatever. And the rest of them, the absolute majority of people, would be in literally China, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, and basically it's just China and India. So yeah, equating this with somehow you being special or being a chosen one or being descended from aliens or gods or whatever is absolute bullshit. And you should tell yourself in the mirror, I'm an idiot and I need to grow up. I don't care how old you are. You need to grow up. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll need it. Trust me, you need it.